Much better. After the huge success of Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, the movie that put Michael right back on the map. This was the big comeback. This was, ooh, this was that satisfying scratch you finally got to reach, So, spoilers for anyone who has not seen the end of Halloween 4. I have to talk about it because it leads into this movie. So, you've been warned. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so after the end of Halloween 4 that gave that really iconic and gnarly, awesome ending of Jamie potentially killing her stepmom and hearing Donald Pleasant's blood-curdling screams at the bottom of the stairs, which was one of the most iconic endings in this entire franchise, in my opinion. A shock factor for just like, holy shit, And part of me always thought that if the franchise had have ended with 4, just imagine, how did Halloween end? Oh, well, his niece potentially killed her own stepmom, sorry. And you imagine if the franchise ended there, like, the possibilities for a director way down the line to pick it up. But, unfortunately, somebody did pick it up. It was a new director. I think it was a homeless guy called Dominic. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was a brand new guy. He never directed a movie before in his life. I'm pretty sure he was homeless, or he was living in the streets or something like that. He had bad luck, and they offered him this movie, and he had a vision. He said, I can make an awesome story. So after the ending of Halloween 4, we get Halloween 5. And Halloween 5 starts off exactly how Halloween 4 ended. So Michael being shot at by the police, by the rednecks, and he falling into the mine shaft, and then we get the scenes that's added on. Like a simple little scene where Dr. Loomis is holding onto the Jamie, and when the police throw down a stick of dynamite. But you see Michael like crawling through this tiny little cave to get away, and he ends up in like a full water stream, a river stream. And it's, whenever I was younger, I'm gonna be honest, guys, I'm gonna put my cards on the table right now. I didn't like this movie. I don't like this movie. I think it's almost an insult. It's boring. The characters aren't as memorable or as iconic as 4. Like, this one kills off quite quickly into the movie an awesome and iconic character from Halloween 4, Rachel, who is like the final girl, and tough and strong and guardian of Jamie, the one that's protecting her against the boogeyman. And nope, she just gets wasted in this movie in a very insulting and quick, ridiculous way. It was almost like Friday the 13th Part 2, whenever they got rid of Allison. Was it Allison or Alice? Pretty sure it was Alice. But, the main character from the original, who beheaded Mrs. Voorhees. Brought her back, and you're like, oh, awesome, this character's back. Dead. Oh. Well. There goes that character. It's stupid. It's wasteful. And, like, come on, whenever Halloween 4 ended and it was in the theaters, there was like huge, any big fan of the Halloween franchise, there was a huge praise for Rachel's character. Surely Dominique or any of the team of Halloween 5 were aware of this, and they still decided to just kill her off. Originally, her death was supposed to be Michael putting scissors into her mouth, like into her throat. But I think, thankfully, the character or the actress spoke up and said, "No, I think she should die a little less fucking insultingly. Don't you think?" So they rewrote it, and she just got stabbed in the heart, whatever. And still ridiculous, still stupid, still an insult. But whenever I was younger, I tried to logically think of ways to justify certain things in this movie. For example, the mask, right? The elephant in the room. We're supposed to believe that the mask in this movie is the exact same mask from Halloween 4. Are you fucking serious? So apparently they intended to have Don Shanks, that's the guy who plays Michael in this movie. Awesome guy. Does fine with what he's given in the movie, so I've got no shade against the actor himself. He does the best that he's given. But originally, they did try to give him the Halloween 4 mask to George B. Pilder. Blah, 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 that mask. And it didn't fit. So they made a brand new mask just for him. Hence why, if you look at the mask and you look at the actor, you can see the similarities in some kind of sense. But come on. The mask, how is it a simple mask made from the William Shatner mask? A simple concept. Why is it so difficult to get right in this franchise? Why do they keep getting worse and worse? How? Back to the point. Whenever I was younger, I tried to find some kind of logic, like maybe the river stream. I don't know, because it got wet. Maybe the mask got kind of deformed, and maybe because he was unconscious for a year, the water and just lying there made it grow a big fucking neck and made the hair grow. There is no fucking logic. That's what I came up with in the end. It's just, no. It's ridiculous. It's silly. Jamie is back in this movie. Awesome. Daniel Harris. Fucking legend. Bring her back. The same very extremely talented actress from Halloween 4 who gave it her fucking all, who acted her ass off and did a great ass job. They bring her back in this movie, and she's practically near enough wasted. Because she's on mute, doesn't talk at all until like maybe the last 10-15 minutes of the movie. She's got some kind of telepathic connection to Michael. The only, I don't want to say wasted completely, because Daniel Harris does do a great job physically. Facial expressions, crying, climbing an event, which she actually did get injured from the knife. So physically, she does a phenomenal job. It's just she's wasted in the sense of she was awesome in showing emotion through her voice, through her vocals. Why would you shut that off for the sake of physicality in terms of physical movement? I don't get it. That seems like a really ridiculous choice. Maybe, I don't know, maybe because she's connected to Michael telepathically and he doesn't talk. They're trying to do the same thing. Okay, he doesn't talk. Why would she talk? I get that. Still stupid. And, her her stepmom that she potentially killed at the end of Halloween 4 that was shocking. She survived. She only attacked her, according to this movie. So, she's fine. And yet Jamie was just thrown into psychiatric ward. And Dr. Loomis. Yeah! Dr. Loomis! He's back in this movie as well. Fucking legend himself. Yeah, I don't like what they do to him either. They couldn't even get him right. How? They turned him into a complete psychopath, screaming at kids until they're terrified, crying their eyes out, petrified of him, and still shouting, shaking them. They just turned him into a fucking a madman. Even Donald Pleasance, the legend himself, has been on record saying that he was dissatisfied with this movie and he hated the direction that they put Loomis in this movie. They go ridiculously over the top and just basically unhinged. Like holding Jamie and offering her as a sacrifice. Yeah, sure, it was all part of a plan to trap Michael, but it just doesn't feel like Loomis. It doesn't feel in character. And that's the issue. You know, the guy Dominique, he did not know his ass from his elbow. You know, I don't care if people are fans of the guy. If they find what I'm saying right now insulting, I'm sorry. But the guy didn't know his fucking ass from his elbow. He came in, he ruined the ending of a phenomenal movie, of a way more superior movie, and he ruined it because he didn't even know what he was doing. There's even people on record saying there was a guy, the character, the guy in black walking around. Nobody, even the cast, had no idea who this guy was. He was just, no one knew what the fuck was going on in this movie behind the scenes. Because it was a mess. Oh, it's rough. If I were to describe this movie with the nicest possible term, it would be very average. Average, I think, is the word I'm going to use. Average is the nicest word I can use for this movie. It's boring. It's boring. There's nothing in this movie that made me think, holy crap, whoa. You know, like, there are some decent scenes. Now, don't get me wrong. The whole Jamie trapped in the vent scene, that was awesome. I did think it was awesome. It was very well done. It was scary. I mean, putting yourself in that perspective, it's very, in a little claustrophobic little area where there's some mad guy stabbing a knife through it. Sure, it's a cool concept, and it is, and it's a good scene, and it's done well. The car chase scene, where Michael's chasing Jamie through the fields, that's a cool scene. I do like that. But you get scenes like the car hits into a tree, blows up, literally blows up, and is on fire. And Michael just slowly, casually gets out of the car, unscratched, no burns, not even smoke, nothing. Perfectly pristine condition, even the mask, everything. How do you blow up and get out of a car without a scratch? Like, scenes like that, like, I just don't understand how they didn't think of that and think, okay, Michael got out on fire, maybe, you know, have the mask on fire or burnt something, anything. But they didn't. Lazy. That's, you know, we get characters that are completely forgettable, in my eyes. Like, Tina. Now, a lot of people have given the character a lot of shit over the years for being one of the most annoying characters in movie history. Personally, I've never found her to be that annoying. I've more found her just uninteresting, boring, no reason to be in this franchise. Completely forgettable. I've never really sat and thought, my God, she's annoying. Oh my God, I've never really. Yeah, she is a little bit annoying, but not to a point where it's overwhelming. I'll give credit where it's due, at least in my humblest of opinion. But I think for me personally, it's not that I was annoyed. It's not that I found her annoying. I found it. No, I didn't find her annoying in general as a person. I found it annoying in general that she's replaced a better character. That's what pissed me off. So, that's what makes it more difficult to get on board with the character and think, okay, this is a cool character now. This is the new main character, because you're dealing with how Rachel was dispatched off very insultingly and so quick that you're dealing with that, and then you have, you know what I mean. So completely uninteresting. All the other characters, her boyfriend, Michael or Mikey, whatever you call him, the guy who fucking he strokes the shit out of his car every 2 seconds. Just uninteresting. That weird guy that does the weird laugh and gets killed in the barn, the pitchfork. I will admit that is a cool scene with Michael in the barn with the fucking Grim Reaper farming equipment. Apparently that was Don Shank's contribution to Michael in this movie. He said because he came from a farming background, he wanted to use some farming equipment as kills. So I thought that was a little interesting fun fact. So, credit where it's due. It worked for his version. Probably wouldn't have worked for any other version of Michael, just that one, because he just had the look, And fun fact, Donald Pleasance filmed in this movie for 2 weeks. So he did 2 weeks of filming for this movie. Imagine how painful that was for him. But after he was finished filming, he had a big caravan, and he gave it to Danielle Harris, because I think her mom was complaining that she had a very small caravan while filming, so he gave his big one to her. So I thought that was really, really sweet. Awesome Donald Pleasance moment. But I'm trying to think of things that I could talk about in this movie. Ah, God. Look, point is, if you can find enjoyment in this movie, awesome. More power to you. I personally can't. I mean, there's scenes like where Michael at the very end is sitting in a jail cell and he has the mask still on. Sure. I mean, if you put, I would have imagined the police before putting him in a jail cell would took the mask off him, then put him in. Take the mask off for a mugshot, maybe. Then put him in the jail cell. So what? They take a mugshot of Michael with the mask on. You see what I mean? It's not well thought out. It's lazy. It's ridiculous. And that scene of him sitting in the jail cell with the mask on, playing with the fucking chain, it's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in my whole life. In terms of horror. It's stupid. It's dumb. And then it ends with this mysterious man in black that we keep seeing throughout the movie. At the end, comes into the police station and basically just shoots everything up, just destroys everything, and Jamie comes into the police station at the end, and she sees Michael's gone, and oh my God, so clearly he's gotten out, and it ends with her screaming no out of fear, because they allowed her to fucking speak. So, in that scene. But overall, guys, I did not like this movie. I hated this movie. It bores me. You set up a phenomenal movie with Halloween 4. Everyone complained and they bashed Halloween 3 because Michael wasn't in it. And then they bring it back in a stupendous and awesome way. And then there's this movie, and it just completely shits on anything great the Halloween 4 set up. And it's completely downhill from here. Halloween 6. And then, now not all the sequels after this one are bad. Trust me, they're not. There are some genuinely decent ones. Not perfect, but decent. But there's a lot of really bad ones. And we're gonna get there, don't worry about that. So yeah, Halloween 5. Why does this exist? Why? So let me know in the comment sections, guys, what did you think of Halloween 5? Did you enjoy it? If so, let me know. I'm always fascinated to know, because everyone's opinions are different, and that's the way it should be. And if you did like it, what was your favorite scene? My favorite scene was probably the vent scene, the ventilation scene. I thought that was really tense. So I do have a favorite scene in this movie. See? Some positivity. But yeah, so if you've made this far, thank you so much for watching. I wholeheartedly appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you. And, well, you know the score. Don't kill anyone.